Hi, I'm Rachel Bailey, and this is another episode of 2 Tips in 3 Minutes, where I'll give you effective, if not intuitive, strategies for handling frustrating behavior in a respectful way. So today we're going to talk about a very common phenomenon, parenting from fear. And I don't think any of us knows a parent who doesn't at some point or another parent from fear. Because as humans, we're wired to protect our children, and we're wired for survival, so we see the threat in almost every single situation. All of that leads to parenting from fear. Because when our son has hit a child in his preschool class, or our daughter has gone to a party and had some alcohol to drink, our brain immediately worries about the future impact of our child's behavior. And we turn to fear. Of course we do. We think if a child hits another student in his class, we think, is he going to be labeled that child? Is he going to get kicked out of school? Will he ever learn to play nicely with his peers? And what will other parents think of us when our child has hit somebody else? Or if your daughter drinks at a party, you might worry, what if she drinks and drives? Or is she on the path to destruction? Or will she make bad decisions in other areas of her life? But parenting from fear is actually ineffective because fear lives in one part of our brain, while our rational thought and our ability to effectively solve problems lives in another part of our brain. Our fear is based in our limbic system, which is located in the middle of our brain. But our ability to parent effectively, to think logically and solve problems, and parent consistently with our morals and values, that's actually located in the front of our brain, in the prefrontal cortex. And all this research has shown that when we are in the fear-based emotional part of our brain, we literally cannot access the logical problem-solving part of our brain. So tip number 1 is to recognize when you're worrying about what will happen in the future, because that's often a sign that you're parenting from fear. I know it's much easier said than done to not do this, but it's something you can learn how to do, and feel free to contact me if you need tips. Because when we're not parenting in fear, we can parent so much more effectively. We can focus on what's best for our child in the moment, and we can focus on what tools our child needs to be successful. So tip number 2 is focus on what your child needs in this instant rather than on preventing something bad from happening in the future. So if your son hits another child in preschool, think about what does your child need right now? Not your anxiety, which is going to make him more anxious and more likely to misbehave. He needs you to think about what does he need in this moment? What is his perspective? And what he probably needs are some tools for dealing with frustration that don't include hitting. And if your daughter comes home drunk from a party, what does she need now? She does not need a parent who freaks out and tries to control her. What she needs is a parent who thinks, what can I do to help her? If she's drinking because of peer pressure, maybe she needs some tools for dealing with peer pressure. If she's drinking because she's stressed and she was looking to alcohol as an outlet, she needs tools to deal with stress. And none of these solutions for your children come from your fear. They come from the logical part of your brain and from your heart. So those are 2 tips for handling parenting from fear in an effective and respectful way. Fill out the form to see how these tips apply to your situation, and as always, contact me if you have any questions you'd like me to have in an upcoming episode. See you next time.